only showing you this because this is the cup I got from MegaCon. I didn't show it in the what I got from MegaCon video because it was in the wash, but it's clean now. Kind of clean, it's got coffee in it. Welcome back to Superhero Wednesday. Hello visuals, yes, like I said, welcome back to Superhero Wednesday. I'm with the, you can only see like visual, and that's it, and plus it's backwards for you guys. We worked this up so good. Can't actually take the letters out because the U, like I've said millions of times, is two J's put together so it looks like a U, and I had to really ram them in there. They're not coming out ever again, so it's stuck like that. I apologise. Rick Portal Gun. I will, one second, I need to zoom in. I will pull you away. That was so, not well done. Yes, visuals, welcome back to this lovely little channel of ours, and thank you again for all the love and support. We're so close, well, at the time of this, recording this video, we're so close to hitting 300 subs, 300 visuals. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. You guys made me cry. And this week's topic of conversation is my favourite actors in the MCU, my favourite actors at portraying their characters. These characters that me and you have loved throughout the years, from your Spider-Mans to your Captain Americas to your Thors to your Drax the Destroyers, all these characters from the comic books and from the big screen that we love, and these actors are smashing out of the park. And I will say it now, but just for the record, overall, out of every superhero ever portrayed beautifully and well done for me is Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. He is that role. Wolverine is Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. But unfortunately, then he's not in the MCU. Maybe not at the minute. So I can't add him in this list. But Hugh Jackman is that they were born to be each other, not in a way. So yes, and again, I could sit and write this list 100 different ways, and I would be happy with it because I don't think there's one performance that I've watched in the MCU that I think is horrible. There's obviously some that I think are better than worse, but overall I'm happy with the way everybody's been cast and the way the actors have made these roles their own. But I picked up my 5 favourite, and yeah, Spider-Man is on the list. So let's just kick things off with number 5. And that is Chris Evans as Captain America, and that's because Chris Evans just looks like the All-American. He looks like Mr. America, and he's playing Mr. America, or otherwise known as Captain America. I should maybe put this back in a sec. I will in a sec. But yeah, you really see the need for justice and righteousness and the will to do good and just stop the bad guys regardless of race, country or anything like that. It all stems from this character because Captain America doesn't care where you're from, who you are. If you're a bad guy though, then you best get out of his way because you get a shield to the face. And you really feel that with Chris Evans. You feel he feels like Mr. America, Mr. Captain America, and he's a heartthrob. Next up, we've got Chris Pratt as Star-Lord and Peter Quill. Amazing way to put this on the list because Chris Pratt is a beautiful actor. He's classy, he's amazing. He was great in the Jurassic stuff. He's great in everything that he's been in Parks and Recreation. He's amazing. But Star-Lord was always a character that I liked. That was it. I just liked. But the second I seen that scene on Morag, which I've talked about to you visuals loads, and we've seen that and you felt that Chris Evans-iness come through the dance to Redbone Come and Get Your Love, which is now my favourite song of all time because I can relate back to that scene. I fell in love with it. And again, I always read Star-Lord and Guardians related stuff before the films come out. I just thought they were cool. That was it. That was dope. But now seeing this, and he's the only one that's made me love the character more because of the films and not the comic books. So that takes a lot of brilliant acting to do. He just plays it really, really well. His charisma, his comedic roles, his little romantic-y spots with Gamora. He does everything beautifully. Next up, we've got another Mr. Funny Man, and that's Scott Lang, Ant-Man, being played by Paul Rudd. Now, Paul Rudd just seems like an absolute legend. Well, it doesn't seem he is an absolute legend and hilarious guy in everything that he plays. Plus, no matter how many interviews that you see him, he always seems like a really genuinely nice, awesome guy. But we all know Scott Lang from what he's like. He's trouble with the law, not always taking stuff too seriously. And who else could you want for the role than Paul Rudd? Not that I'm saying he's been in trouble with the law, but he's always seems like he's up for a laugh. He's up for a bit of mischief, just seeing what he can do, get up to. And he's a great actor. He's obviously in a lot more of comedy films and stuff like that. But the fact that a lot of the MCU films are action and adventure and sci-fi, but they are comedy at the same time. So to bring an expert, a master in the comedy realm,
over to the MCU like himself, play this character, which again wasn't the most popular character, but just completely smash it and make a character which a lot of people may not really give a fuck about into a character that a lot of people love now.
Well done, you, Paul Rudd.
Maybe the face of the MCU, and maybe, in fact I would say probably it's either him or Sam Jackson that are the biggest actors in the MCU. Now it's RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. I don't even need to sell it to you. You know how well of a Tony Stark and an Iron Man he plays. He feels like a billionaire because he probably is. Well, actually, I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he feels like he is. He's got the suave, sophistication. He looks smart. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I look at Robert Downey Jr. and I feel like you've got some knowledge, pal. You know what you're talking about. Unlike me, I ain't got a clue what's going on all the time, but he's amazing, he's cool. He brought the MCU to what it is today. He's a huge pillar in the MCU building, if that makes sense. And of course, not to bring it up or be weird about it, but he's had his trouble with substance abuse in the past. So was our real life comic book Tony Stark. There's a lot of weird elements that go along with it. I always thought that's a weird connection. I hope they haven't took that into consideration and just cast him for that. But RDJ. And number one is a biased one. It's Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I can't say it enough. But no, for real, I've been crying out, and I love the other performances. If you haven't seen my video on who plays Spider-Man the best, go check that out. But I love all the performances the other Peter Parker's done, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. But Tom Holland, he gave me everything I wanted for a Spider-Man / Peter Parker. He gave me the fun, the quirky, the happy-go-lucky chappy. But he gave me the real raw, intimidated, amateur-y, nervous, scared sort of what do I do type feeling that I wanted to get. I wanted to see a little baby Spider turn into the man, go for it Spider, and with Tom it really felt like it. Plus he's so young, he's younger than me. I've got an FFF coming out before or after this video, all about Tom Holland, definitely check that out as well. But he played everything so well, it was beautiful. He reimagined Peter Parker, Spider-Man on the big screen for me, he knocked it out of the park, and I'm forever grateful to Tom Holland. And there we go, visuals. That was my 5 favourite MCU actors and my favourite portrayals of these characters by these actors. And hopefully you enjoyed this little video, because you get and could you because believe it or not, I did have a trailer for it. I said because could you but yeah, like I said, there's so many. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, again beautiful. Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. I was gonna say Nicolas Cage. That wouldn't work. As a Nick Fury, absolutely amazing. Oh, there's so many different roles that are absolutely beautiful. That's why I said you can make this list over and over again and you'd be relatively happy. So yeah, great job to everyone in the MCU, but that was my 5. And visuals, if I don't see you for up to a week, no, I'm about to see somebody else's ending. Can't do that, I've got my own ending. But visuals, if I don't see you in the next video, maybe I'll see you in an up-and-coming MCU Spider-Man film. I do look like the part of Spider-Man easily. Me and Tom Holland, look at that. It hurts to tense. Visuals, keep in here, keep on keeping on.